Welcome to season 2 of Oz Talks Comics. I'm Oz and I love talking comics. And today we have an episode that inspired almost an entire genre of shows in a nation. We are talking about Toei's Spider-Man, or Supaidaman, if I said that right. So, Toei's Spider-Man, the Japanese Spider-Man, is one of my favorite versions of Spider-Man. Recently, in Modern Comics, he has had a rework in the Spider-Verse comics, which has been really great. Toei's Spider-Man from 1978 to 1979 starred Takuya Yamashiro. I don't know if I said that right. I probably didn't, or I did. Congrats if I did. It ran for 41 episodes and had a theatrical short and was a licensed but heavily localized reimagining of Marvel's Spider-Man. Same costume, some spider powers, but a heavily different origin. A distinctly tokusatsu origin. And most famously, the inclusion of a giant robot, Leopardon, that Takuya pilots to defeat enlarged monsters. The series was produced by Toei under a short licensing deal with Marvel and ended up influencing the Super Sentai series. So you're wondering, how does Marvel just give their license to a random Japanese country, or a Japanese company, and what does that do? Well, so in the late 70s, Marvel, through contacts including publisher representatives, made a deal with Toei that allowed Toei to adapt Spider-Man for their Japanese live-action show. Toei was given considerable creative freedom, so rather than straight up adapt Stan Lee and Steve Ditko's Peter Parker and his storylines, they produced a new hero, Takuya Yamashiro, tailored to the Japanese tokusatsu sensibilities. A monster of the week, stunt fights, melodrama. The arrangement also led to several other Marvel Toei projects and cross-influences at the time. However, the plot, the characters, and just the overall show was significantly different than the Marvel comics. Takuya is a young motocross racer, hint hint, at some other bike-related tokusatsus. My favorite, Kamen Rider, obviously. Yeah, so Takuya Yamashiro is a young motocross racer, not a photographer or teen genius. His family and friends appear in the series, his sister Shinko, love interest Hitomi, etc. Takuya gains powers from an alien named Gara, the survivor of Planet Spider, who injects him with spider blood and gives him the spider bracelet / spider seed tech, far removed from a radioactive spider bite. However, that would be like his spider devices on his wrists. Powers and gadgets. He has webbing and spider senses similar to that of Marvel's Spider-Man, but Toei added some original gadgets and the now iconic bracelet / transform device for action cues and for summoning Leopardon. Again, the web shooters are bracelets. In a lot of tokusatsu, they have henshin devices or transforming devices. As it's like in Power Rangers, you see the morphers, Spider-Man would have wrist morphers. So the primary antagonists of the series are the Iron Cross Army, a tokusatsu-style evil organization, and monstrous foot soldiers. Leopardon is a giant robot and the mech that Takuya summons to fight the giant monsters. So, pilotable mech that Takuya summons to fight the giant monsters. Leopardon's presence is a major departure from Western Spider-Man and became the show's toy / visual hook. The commercial success of him and audience reaction helped cement the ideas of heroes piloting robots, which later influenced Toei to incorporate giant robots into Super Sentai, the direct predecessor conceptually to what will become Power Rangers here in the West. In short, Toei's Spider-Man inspired and shaped some of the conventions of Super Sentai. So produced by Toei Company and Tokyo Channel 12, the episodes were written by veteran tokusatsu writers Shozo Uehara. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. and others, and directed across the standard tokusatsu production. The opening, ending themes, score, stunt work, and special effects are classic late 70s tokusatsu style, with a theatrical short released in 1978 as part of Toei Festival. Now, speaking of festivals, I'm going to head over to the sponsor of the video, and we'll hear what he has to say. Sponsor Oz here. We got the Patreon up and going. We have a couple items on there. As of recording this video, I think I only have like one post and one song that's not going to be released fully out. The Patreon is up and going. It's scrolling on the screen. The link will be kind of flashing on the screen too. So if you want to go support me and support the channel and support all the videos and get better content and better quality, go to the Patreon, support us, and it really helps me and my team. And we appreciate everything that everyone in the community has done. We also have a merch store. Yes. That'll be scrolling through here as well. We have shirts, cups, mugs, tote bags. I have canvas prints of photos I've taken because I'm also a photographer. And if you want to do that, go follow my Instagram, OzzyVision. I know, very original. I need to update that with some recent photos. But I've gotten big into photography, so I just want to share some of my art, you know. I have a metal album coming out. As of the release of this video, I have 2 singles out from the album. Fight Heresy, a Warhammer 40k themed song, and then Slay the Damned, a Viking Santa themed song. Both are really fun to make. Metal music is really fun to make. My throat hurts from it. And let me just be honest. Yeah, I think that's it for sponsors. Now we're going to go to a quick editing corner with my editor, Addie. Maybe she has something to say, maybe not. We'll give her a little segment. All right, and we're back. I hope you enjoyed the sponsor of the video. So last we were talking about production notes and the creative team of it, and how the theatrical short of Toei's Spider-Man was released in 1978 as part of the Toei Festival. Now, this show ran from May 17th, 1978 to March 14th, 1979 for 41 episodes. I want to say the typical tokusatsu show length, I think that's like the formula for tokusatsu shows. Plus, there's some other theatrical short. It's a single season tokusatsu production rhythm, monster of the week, multiple episode plots. Contemporary Japanese audiences knew it as Supaidaman, and it earned moderate popularity, enough to sell toys and influence the other Toei programming, like I said. Now, some of the toys were hits. Leopardon, the Megazord, essentially, for Spider-Man. But because of the licensing agreement and changing ownership, home video availability and rebroadcast rights have been complicated since the 70s. For many years, only small selections or bootlegs circulated. Marvel briefly hosted subtitled episodes online in 2009, and later DVD collections and official releases have been limited by licensing issues tied to the original Marvel Toei agreements and subsequent corporate changes. So if you're looking to watch episodes of Supaidaman, your best bet is to go on YouTube and see if anyone has uploaded a couple episodes. If not, I'm sorry. He was referenced in Across the Spider-Verse, I think. I think he has like a little... I think he popped up in Across the Spider-Verse. I don't know. But I know in modern Marvel appearances, he's around, and I'm getting ahead of myself. The legacy of Supaidaman is that he has the Super Sentai influence with the giant robot, essentially normalizing the hero controls a mech to fight giant threats idea that became a feature in Super Sentai from Battle Fever J onward. Battle Fever J itself was co-developed with the same era, or around the same era, and the same big robot solution. Many historians of tokusatsu trace the Robot Squad formula's commercial logic in part of the lessons learned with Spider-Man's merchandising, meaning Japanese tokusatsu is their Saturday, or yeah, I think it's like Saturday superhero segment. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's called like Superhero Time actually, because I remember watching Kamen Rider Geats, and at the time they had Dawn Brothers too, and they were like, "Oh, it's superhero time" or whatever. Anyways, the modern Marvel appearances canonized Takuya as an alternate Earth Spider-Man from Earth 51778 and brought him into the Spider-Verse events and comics. Hence Spider-Verse, Spider-Geddon, and he's been featured in Marvel documentary material, i.e. the Marvel's 616 episode on Japanese Spider-Man, um, available on Disney Plus, I believe. So these appearances celebrate the unique addition Toei made to the Spider-Verse. The fan reception was massive, I would say, because of the inclusion of Leopardon. But while the show was running, it was embraced by tokusatsu fans for its energetic stunts and the novelty of seeing a Western superhero interpreted through their Japanese sensibilities. Modern viewers often enjoyed it as campy, inventive oddity. Some find Takuya's melodrama and Leopardon charming and historically significant. Others see it as a quirky detour from the true Spider-Man mythos. The show's inclusion in modern Marvel retrospectives and comic crossovers has pushed it into a reappraised, celebrated status among Spider fans worldwide. I'm going to stop right after that one because if I remember, in one of the more recent runs, there's a freaking Tokusatsu Spider-Man versus like a Tokusatsu Venom issue. Like I saw a panel of both of them fighting each other, not even fighting each other, but like confronting each other. Now, where to watch it? Like I said, you might have to bootleg it and whatnot. But Marvel's 616 episode about it is a concise, modern intro and gives more context to the history than I'm giving, at least. For deeper reading, I don't want to say go to Wikipedia, but go to Wikipedia, go to the Spider-Man wiki. I think go to Marvel's website. I think he's on Marvel's website. Because they did that with Toby and Andrew's Spider-Man during No Way Home, so they kind of canonized them into the MCU. I don't know if they're going to do that with Takuya, but they're good starting points. But the idea of Spider-Man piloting a giant robot is often cited as something Hollywood could mine for a wildly different Spider-Man reboot. The show's unique origin with the alien Garia and Spider-Blood allowed Toei to keep the visual iconography of Spider-Man's suit while making a wholly new backstory and new set of side characters. Remember to keep reading, all right? Comics are a part of life. They're a part of my life. If they're not a part of your life, I recommend getting into some. Some recent runs I've been reading are, I think it's called like Cosmic Batman, Absolute Batman. I have been reading the new, or trying to catch up on the modern Ultimate Spider-Man run and the Spider-Geddon run, which inspired me to do this video because of the tokusatsu panels. Now, I also recommend going to watch some toku shows yourself. If you want to get into Super Sentai, I'd say start with something that intrigues you. But a lot of them have like our anniversary seasons or crossover seasons. So I'd recommend going with something like Chojin Sentai Jetman from the 90s, which was, fun fact, supposed to be the original formula for Power Rangers before they went with Zuu Ranger. Right, so I recommend Jetman. And then if you want to get into Kamen Rider, I recommend 3 series. My personal favorite series, Kamen Rider Geats, Kamen Rider Gotchard, or Kamen Rider Wizard, to keep with the Oz and the Wizard theme. Now, if you're not into Sentai / Power Rangers or Kamen Rider and you want something else, I have an entire video coming out later this week on Japanese shows and movies that I recommend that you watch. One of which being A Silent Voice, which is an anime movie. I know anime is not for everyone, but what can I say? There's good stuff out there, some great shows. The Sentai can get weird at times. It's great, it's fun. Uh, Tokuger is a train theme season. People always recommend that you can start off with Tokuger. It's a great season. I do recommend Tokuger. I also recommend if you're big into Game of Thrones, go watch King Ogre. And if you manage to find it, please, please go watch Supaidaman. It started the whole thing. It was a great formula for what we now have for Sentai and Power Rangers, and honestly, one of the greatest things ever. Spider-Man with a Tommy gun is something that will never get old here. It's really funny. It's great. Yeah, so other than that, I say thanks for watching the video. Keep reading comics. Keep living on. Like the late, great Stan Lee once said, Excelsior, true believers. I'm Oz. This is Oz Talks Comics. I don't know when the Oz Talks Comics episodes will be back because these are being filmed with a lot of Unbridled History episodes, and I'm currently doing a long Unbridled History series as of late. But yeah, we're working on something. More episodes soon.